Deuces Wild, motherfuckers!
Double flippies, double flippies. So we can pretty much see that Mr. Byrnes is in a beautiful hotel room with a gorgeous sunset behind him. And where shall we be, Mr. Byrnes?
We are in Del Mar, California, Thrill, otherwise known as God's country. This
Oh
place
my
is,
God, we're down in San Diego area. What you doing down there?
it's, uh, first of all, the place is ridiculous. It's not a hotel, it is a bungalow, probably 1,100 ish square feet, 2 stories, a little just perfect slice of heaven right here on the beach. And it is a property of a very near and dear a friend of mine, as a matter of fact. Todd LaRocca is his name. We call him the Rock Thrill. He was my recruiting host at Stanford. He later on became my financial advisor, ironically. And apparently, I'm paying him way too much money because this spread is ridiculous.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty, and having that sunset in the background just makes it even better. So,
No, he's a great dude. He's one of my nearest and dearest friends. Salt of the earth. Uh, Prayers up to his father. I know had a big surgery today, and he's also happens to be Thrill, and this is to the reason why I'm here. My pickleball partner. So
oh, okay, all right,
yeah, the
cool.
two of us we're going to be playing in a tournament this weekend in Newport. So last night, ironically, I flew in from Houston and landed here in San Diego, and then I'm going to go up to Newport. But Rock was so gracious, and the entire LaRocca family to let me make sure just to call it the caretaker of this gem right here. The waves were perfect this morning, dude. It's some, you know how you go like just different areas of the world and you're like, whoa, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
special. Del Mar, and it's not. You could say San Diego, and yeah, whatever. San Diego's cool. Del Mar is different.
Yeah, I
And
got
when
you.
you walk the beaches in downtown, and I was walking back last night from grabbing some dinner up at this place called Monarchs, a really cool spot. I was surprised anything was open. I right, a little bit of a sleepy town, right? And there's a fucking train, man, that rips right through the middle of town. Like it's like literally like beach, train, and then town on the other side. And I was kind of casually walking, and I was talking to Tara, and then all of a sudden you hear, I'm like, what the fuck is that? She goes, it's a train. Get out of the way, you dumbass.
That's funny. That's
Oh, it's
funny. Look
good.
at you go.
So yeah. Anyway, just a lot of baseball, a lot of pickleball. Quick shout out to the LTP boys. So the Let Them Play 14U team went to Houston. 96 teams thrill. We had some battles in pool play, which we didn't necessarily expect, but we came out of pool play 3-0, gave up only 4 runs it was. That ended up getting us like the 15 seed, right? Because there were 96 teams in this, and had to go toe-to-toe in the round of 32 with SBA National, a juggernaut. Had a great game with them, survived that. The next team we played, arguably the best team in the country right now. This was a put together team specifically for this tournament. The TBT National Phillies is what they're called, and they're fucking good. Really, really good. From a talent perspective, size, strength, all of it right now, this is a team I will tell you, they're better than us. From a pure baseball perspective, and when we start doing some of the little things, we neutralize that. And with that said, we had a hell of a battle, 4-3 game. They brought in a kid, ironically, he used to play for Let Them Play, Jackson Hannon, when he was 11 years old. He was throwing 90 miles per hour at 14U.
Oh,
Fucking
jeez.
gas, man. It was
Jeez.
it was impressive, and he worked with pace and everything. But we had a kid on our side, Kane Betancourt, who was pulling the string like I've never seen at the youth level. Kept all of their hitters off balance, and then our guy Nolan Banta came in and closed it out for us. But just an awesome game, and then we got walked off in the round of 8. Started the next day, and we got walked off by this TBT Prime team in 2 outs in the last inning, nobody on, tie game, and kid ran into one. It's BB Core bats. It's the real deal now. So you just kind of tip your cap, right? They're not using these cheater bats. And that was it. But boys had a hell of a run, got to the final 8. And lastly, Dan Herron and his 9U team, 9U let them play team, won the whole fucking thing. Incredible. So yeah, a little golf clap
Nice
to
job. Nice
Herron and the
job.
boys for repping LTP just so awesomely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Congrats. And,
Yeah, and
I
one
know we
more
got,
thing
I know
before
we
we
got,
get going, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. Let's not forget our title sponsor, Car Shield. Hey, once again, we just want to say thank you for the support of Car Shield. They are not necessarily an extended warranty program. We had to get some of this language correct. But
yes, I got an email saying that we couldn't say these things on the air. And
it, yeah, but you got to understand, because we're not necessarily trying to push or sell anything. Like, we're just basically saying, hey, look, this is what they do, and so it's an extended services contract. I believe is what it is. Where when your warranty runs out, you have these services, and I think what was the number? Some ridiculous. I'm like they've handed out like $3 billion in claims. So it's a great thing. We both thrill our Car Shield customers.
yes, we are.
So we're just trying to share the love, spread the love, and Car Shield. So
There you
quick
go.
shout out to our boy Kevin and all the boys over there.
Car show with the big old banner right here on top of the old Deuces Wild action.
Just to
So,
let you know. So how you been, man? You went to Reno.
yeah, I went to Reno. I spent the day there doing a little speech. I had a meet and greet with some VIPs. Did a little speech the next day. I met the Rev, who's in the chat room right now. I met him for the first time. He's a Renoite, whatever you want to call him, a Renoian, whatever you want to call him. And then, Big Mike and
Battleborn.
Jason. Yeah, Battleborn and Jason and their wives. We all went to dinner that night and had a hoot and a holler that night. And, came back home. So I've been home and just been watching the Gigantes next week. Matter of fact, a week from today. So on the 10th, I am going to spring training. So I'll be down there in spring training. So can't do the show next week, but the following week, I'll have all kinds of updates for you guys as far as, what's going on with the Giants.
Thrill. This ball right here. Um, I, I mean, this is really, really, really something special. So Jason had me sign a baseball,
Yes, he did.
and on the baseball, he had me write "Deuces Wild, motherfucker," and then I signed just a portion of that
Yeah.
baseball,
Yeah.
and then you signed the other
Other
side.
side of it. Yep.
This
Yep.
is a one of one. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat room, what do you think we could bid this thing out for? Because
Oh.
we do have the ability to make it 2 of 2 at some point.
Yes, we do have the ability. We have that ability.
Look at that thing. I mean, I don't know. If I was a kid and I loved baseball and I like to talk a little shit, I got to imagine, like, this is kind of like the fuck face Billy Ripken card. I'd
Yeah,
have to
no.
have it.
Hey, you know what else? You know what else is great about that too is both signatures are so freaking legible. It's like you know who signed the damn ball.
I did that for you.
Okay.
I did because when I was a kid and I bought a Will Clark autographed baseball, I'm like, the reason why I love this so much, besides the fact you're my favorite player, I can fucking read it.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was awesome. Hey, sitting here while you've been, messing around right here, the Rev even brought it up. Sell it for 222. How about that
Oh
one?
yeah, at
Huh?
least.
That's a good starting point anyway. So,
Well, and then it could go to our tequila fund. I mean, it's getting a
oh,
little low.
your tequila's taking a beating.
Oh, it's actually Rock's tequila. So Rock, we very much appreciate and thank you for that. So yeah, the Gigantes today thrill got absolutely fucking bamboozled by Team
They got
USA, 15-1.
shellacked. But I tell you what, though, up until this point, they were 8-2. They've been playing pretty good baseball. There've been some really kind of neat things that are going on. They brought an outfielder over from minor league camp, and this guy was a prospect, a big prospect 2 years ago, and last year he kind of scuffled in Double A. His name's Victor Barracoto, and they even bumped him up to Triple A last year, and he's already got 2 or 3 homers in the spring, and he's doing a good job. So he's opening some eyeballs. Um, the one guy that I'm pulling for, and I'm trying to get him to pick up the pace a little bit. I'll probably talk to him when I get to spring training. Is Hayden Birdsong? He's gone out there and he's had 2 rough goes of it, and just needs to get a little confidence going.
What's his issue, Thrill?
Uh, Big misses. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like, it's not like he misses by that much. He misses by, you know, 4 feet, and then when he makes the adjustment, it's belt high down the middle. So he's fighting himself right now. I know he did a lot of things this off season as far as tweaking, some grips and shit like that, and just doesn't look like he's comfortable yet.
So, Thrill, explain to me what happened today, though, during that 15-1 game against USA. Mark DeRosa, former colleague of mine, great friend of mine, ended up bringing over a half a dozen Giants minor leaguers and suited them up in Team USA unis.
Dude, it was one of the best things that I saw. And Mark DeRosa, tip of the cap to you for doing that, man. That is freaking big time. What he did was to have some extra players, for the USA team.
Yeah.
He brought 8 of our minor leaguers over. Matter of fact, it was Dakota Jordan, Gavin Keelan, who was the number 1 pick last year, Zach Morgan, a catcher, Charlie Ciccone, a third baseman / first baseman, Lorenzo Miola, who's probably a pitcher, Scott Bandura, an outfielder, RJ Dabovich, a pitcher, and then John Michael Bertrand, who's a pitcher. And out of those 8 guys right there, everybody got in the game with the exception of Miola and Bertrand. So we got 6 out of 8 minor leaguers into not only a major league game, but a USA game. How about that? You come into spring training, trying to win a job, not only, with the San Francisco Giants, but on the major league side of things. And then all of a sudden, one day, you're running out there with USA on your chest and you're getting in the game. That's freaking phenomenal. Mark DeRosa, I love you for that. That's fucking awesome. Love it, man. Love it.
That's so cool because you got to realize some of these guys will never, ever see a day in the big leagues. Not one.
You're right. You're right.
Thrill. So taking a look at the scores today. You ready for
So,
this?
yep. So the score was boat race to 1. So
Yeah.
basically the USA jumped on them. I mean, they scored 2 in the top of the first, and then Giants scored 1 in the bottom, And then after that, it was just like boom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. And yeah, we got the USA team had 19 hits, so that bodes well for DeRosa and those guys, getting into pool play. The Giants had 6 hits, gave a few errors, gave them a few runs. But anyway, one of those things where, it was good to see the USA dudes come out swinging the sticks. I know that, I think it's on Friday. I think Logan Webb's taking the ball in game number 1 against Brazil. So I'm really looking forward to Logan going out there and dealing. Skeens threw today. He threw 3 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, and looked typical Paul Skeens. So, we also printed out the roster right here of the USA team. And if you want to run through it, we can run through it.
Well, let's run through the lineup today because this was pretty impressive. Bobby Witt Jr., 2 for 3, a couple runs scored, and then you had Gunnar Henderson come in. He was 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Bryce Harper, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. You had Goldschmidt come in after him. He was 1 for 3 with a run scored. Aaron Judge, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs. Pete Crow Armstrong, who came in for him, 1 for 3 runs scored, RBI. This just keeps going on and on and on. Alex Bregman, 1 for 3 runs scored, RBI. Cal Raleigh, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. You had, dude, it just keeps going. And then as far as the homer perspective, it was Bregman who had 1, and then Anthony who had 1 as well. Doubles, extra base hits here. Harper had 1, and then Pete Crow Armstrong had 1 as well. The boys in the red, white, and blue were absolutely banging the day.
Yeah, they banged. They looked impressive, and they came away with a big win, which is kind of what you want to do, before you start up the pool play. Is get your feet up under you, get some good swings in. It seems like all of those dudes, they had been timing themselves pretty good. They came out swinging the lumber today. One thing we didn't talk about last year was Roman Anthony getting called up, and like you said, he went deep today. But he's the future of the Red Sox right there. 6'3", 6'4", big old fella, and can pull a little bit. So it's good seeing him go deep today too.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out, but this is a juggernaut of a team. Looking at the other scores, Thrill, Great Britain, this is one that shocked me. 7-3 over the Brewers. It was Mexico 6-3 over the Diamondbacks. The Dominican kicked the shit out of the Tigers 12-4. Puerto Rico 5-3 over the Red Sox. And then Venezuela 3-1 losers to the Astros. So we'll see what happens with that. The A's also played Brazil, and it was 14-4 A's over Brazil. 6-3 the Mets over Nicaragua. How about Team Israel? A 1-0 victory over the Marlins. Yankees stomped on Panama 11-1. Netherlands 8-5 over the Orioles. So a little back and forth. It was the Pirates over Colombia 7-1. This is cool though. It is fun seeing these countries.
Yeah, no, I'm liking seeing the countries, and kind of bodes well for the sport. One thing that you and I did not talk about, but I think it's coming around. I think that baseball is coming back into the Olympics in 2028. Have you heard that?
I think it is. I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that, for a guy like me, I went out there and kind of, we were the demonstration sport, and in 88 and 92 and 96, they were gold medal sports before, baseball got dropped. But then now having this WBC and seeing all the competition and all that sort of stuff, hopefully, the Olympics are like, yeah, it's a worldwide sport now, and let's put it in the Olympics again.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it certainly should be in the Olympics. I mean, flag fucking football's in the Olympics. I respect flag football, but
Yeah.
you're telling me flag football is going to be been on it. Baseball needs to be in each and every single Olympics. All right, Thrill, what else do we have from the Giants? What have you seen thus far early in spring? Obviously, Tony Vitello has got the boys playing pretty well. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's Thrill, but I'm going to assume because Thrill disappeared, it's him and not me. Okay. On another note, this is a huge article, and it's something that I wanted to get into.
You got
With
me?
Yeah, you're back.
All right, I'm back. I don't know what happened. We had a glitch. It just popped out.
I don't know. You're certainly back though, which is very nice.
Yay!
Thrill. So there's this whole thing going on right now. It's very controversial. The Atlanta Hawks are doing a promo night, and the Atlanta Hawks and Magic City, which is an adult establishment where you have women dance, oftentimes without clothes. This is when they play against the Orlando Magic on March 16th. So they're teaming up and for a Magic City Monday. As Thrill disappears again, apparently he didn't want to talk about this. And it's going back and forth. There's one NBA player who's come out and he's not happy with it. But the rebuttal for all of this is basically, he says, look, we desire to provide an environment where fans of all ages can safely come and enjoy the game of basketball and where we can celebrate the history and culture of communities in good conscience. A celebration of a strip club is not this is not conduct aligned with that vision.
Ha!
So this is from one of the players, ironically. And it goes on and on. It says, of course, not everyone agrees with it. Cornette's the player. It says, for example, the legendary David Aldridge wrote a convincing counter argument in a recent column. And this is what David Aldridge said. He said, from afar, it may seem absurd, but Magic City and the city's other strip clubs are part of Atlanta's culture and vibe. It's like go-go music in DC or rapping and breaking are in Brooklyn or jazz is in New Orleans. You can turn your nose up to it or look down upon people who work there. But it's more likely than not your favorite hooper or football player, I'll say, or baseball player or politician, it says here, has probably been up in Magic City over the decades. So, yeah, I mean, there's real good controversy happening right now in Atlanta.
How about it one time? Amazing.
I don't know, Thrill.
Amazing.
I got no audio from you right now.
Really? None?
No.
All right, let me click out. I'll come back.
X out. Let's come back in. See how we're doing here. The other big news topic that I'd like to get everybody's opinion on. It's not a news topic. So the other day, Max Clark was in the outfield. And for those of you who know Max Clark, or don't know Max Clark, he is a badass.
You got me now? You got me?
Is it just me? Does anybody else? Can anyone else hear Thrill? Let's obviously we can see him again. You guys
All
got
right,
him.
so it was me that popped out.
Okay.
And Tommy
This is really no.
Tommy says we hear him.
Maybe I hit my settings. and see if this messes with anything. That'd be my hearing. Huh.
Well, in
All
the
right.
meantime, while all that
This is
craziness is
how the
going on,
sausage is made, folks.
you
We're not
got me. You got
necessarily
me.
trying to hide anything here. Oh, all right, you there?
I am here. You got me, Jack.
Yo, 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 you still there?
I'm there. I'm here.
All right, maybe I X out this time. Try to come back in and see if we could do it. Thrill, you got to take the show here. Your thoughts on the Atlanta area strip clubs teaming up with the Atlanta Hawks? I'll let you go over that as I X out and come back in.
Well. The
Oh, all right. Let's
Atlanta
see here.
Hawks and strip clubs. That's interesting. The Atlanta area was known for a bunch of strip clubs when I was playing baseball. I did not frequent them as I did have family in Atlanta a bunch, but it is what it is. Them doing their thing. Hey, while I got you guys in the chat room while he's doing his thing, you got me back.
Got it.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
It is
You know
impressive
what
that we
I,
could
I said?
somehow
I
figure
said,
this shit
look,
out.
it was probably me a few times because I popped on, popped off, but about 10 minutes ago you started getting real choppy, so it might be your connection too.
I got no idea. I
So
think
anyway,
the internet's okay here, but
so
whatever.
we were going over to the strip club, and I said, Atlanta area was known for some pretty good ones, although I didn't frequent them because I always had family in Atlanta. So one of the things.
Yeah, that's too bad, man. I did not have family in Atlanta, and I don't want to necessarily say frequent them, but there certainly was a night where I did show up to improve the attendance, of course, of the strippies, and we got
Hey,
there
every
great.
now and then, it's all about attendance. You know what I mean? It's all about attendance.
I went to a strippy the last time, I think, was when I was with the Bananas. And I asked, like, one of the ushers, I'm like, excuse me, sir, looking for a cool spot with a cool vibe and has like really good steaks, like a nice steakhouse, but maybe a little music bumping this or that. And he goes, oh, yeah. And I was thinking, like, hey, there's a Ruth Chris.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a Prime 48, whatever it is. There's this, there's that. And he goes, oh, right down the street. Go to Rachel's. And I go,
Rachel's.
Rachel's? I said, oh, okay. That sounds good. And then I didn't even think anything of it. And then I realized when we were rolling up, I go, bro, and I was with Kowalski. I go, dude, send us to a fucking strippy, man. And he's like, no way, no way. And we went in there, and I actually looked like they had a whole kind of restaurant section that was separated from where the girls dance. And then basically you'll go sit in that area and you eat your food and whatever else, and then you could, walk on down the steps afterwards. But it was the guy killed it, man. It was one of the best steaks I'd ever had.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you were going for the food instead of the ambiance, shall we say? But
Oh
I
man.
think that's hysterical that here you are, you're a Savannah Banana, all that sort of stuff. You're asking a dude, hey, where's a nice place to go? And this bastard goes, you got to go over here. Not telling you that it's a strip joint. He thinks that you're going for the food.
Oh, dude, I was
Unbelievable.
going for the I was going for the oysters, man.
That's funny. That's funny. Hey, while we're while we're giggling and laughing, I got something that's a little bit more serious, and this just happened today. So, um, Jurickson Profar got caught again with PEDs for the second time in less than a year. He is forfeiting a 162 game schedule and $15 million. A dumbass. First off, quit cheating. All right, everybody knows that. That's how all of a sudden you got these numbers is because you got on the shit. Get off the shit, get clean, go play some baseball.
I mean, is someone going to give him a chance when he's done?
Till I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of, I mean, he didn't put up those great numbers, there for a while, and then all of a sudden, woo, he had this one season, and it just so happened to be he had this one season when it was free agent year, and then he signs a big deal, and then he gets popped twice in the last 2 years. It's like, come on, man, come on.
All right, I'm not going to go too far into it because I don't know enough about it. But first and foremost, I'll say that if you're testing positive somehow, some way, in this day and age, you're just a fucking idiot, man. I can't help you, dude. And I like Jurickson Profar, and I root for him, and he's a really good player. There's a how do I put this? I believe there is now a dirty little secret happening not only around Major League Baseball, but around all professional sports, and also is very prevalent in society. And it is a constant quest to try to figure out how to stay energetic, stay younger, all of it. There are a significant number of professional athletes that I know, and a significant number of people just in life that I know that are injecting themselves with peptides, which then will increase growth hormone, increase testosterone, do all sorts of other things for your skin and everything else. And so, obviously, my number one question when I heard this shit was, where do I get them? And when can I start using them? But because I'm always very transparent with you guys, I have not taken any peptides. I would not be totally against it. I want to learn more. I don't necessarily lack energy. I think there's things that I do in my life, and you could call them life hacks. You could call them life optimization sort of routines, be it the push-ups, the sit-ups, this whole thing that I do in the morning, and obviously the running, the endurance, the pickleball. So I have not partaken in the peptide party that is happening fucking everywhere, but I'm real interested to see what MLB does, and not only MLB, but all these other professional sports leagues. Is it legal? Is it illegal? Because really what these peptides are doing is it's allowing your body to naturally create these performance enhancing drugs. And what levels are appropriate, I think, is what this is going to come down to. So, again, I don't want to go too far down a path that I don't know a ton about and exactly how they work, but they are fucking everywhere right now.
All right. Well, put it this way. You brought it up, and I have no idea what you're talking about. So I just pulled it up on the computer right here. It said peptides are a short change of amino acids that act as building blocks for proteins. Blah 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 blah. Used in medicine for targeted therapies and skincare for anti-aging. They offer benefits like muscle growth, improved immunity, and enhanced healing. So, you and I being in the sport where, you play every day and stuff like that, if I looked at that right there and, would think, oh my goodness, I would have to target the enhanced healing because you and I need to get that regeneration so we can go back out there and do it again the next day. No matter if we got drilled, no matter if we got hit in the foot, no matter if we foul tipped one off of ourselves or whatever, we would need that enhanced healing.
So my question then becomes: is this something that teams are going to administer? And the Players
Whoa.
Association, and obviously this is a quote unquote joint drug agreement. We are walking down a very, very fucking thin line, Thrill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
this is
I
all
get
going to
it.
come to a head.
Yeah.
It
No, I
is.
get
And,
it.
and
I get
until
it.
they figure out how to test for them, if I'm a professional athlete, um, or a 50-year-old dude try, try, trying to relive my youth, I don't know. Again, like my whole thing has always been, and this is honestly one of the main reasons why I never touched steroids. Like I didn't need to get faster. I didn't need to get stronger. I need to lay out the 2-2 curveball in the dirt. We've gone over this. We've talked
Yeah.
about this shit.
Yeah. No,
But
I get it. I get it.
if this really could help, and you tell me there's no side effects, there's no long-term deteriorating benefits, like why would we not take them, right?
Yeah. No.
Other than potential, I got to imagine they're not cheap, but it's something that I'll probably dig into a little bit more, especially since I just talked about this on the podcast, and I
Yeah.
want to
No, I
be
get
able
it. I
to
get it. Yeah.
regurgitate kind of exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And how do professional sports leagues in these joint drug testing programs, how do they feel about peptides? So this is all going to fucking come out. It's
Yeah.
going to be a
No.
huge, huge deal. And I'm surprised it hasn't been. I
Yeah. No.
really am. Maybe I've missed some articles. I don't know. But it's certainly not a huge, huge story because, again, it's this dirty little secret.
I get it, but hey, look. Here's my peptide right here. I got me a peptide in a glass. So here's to you, my brother.
Building blocks, amino acids. I mean, there are amino acids in tequila, isn't there?
Yeah, no, it's got to be amino acids in tequila. Comes from a plant.
Agave.
That's right. I watched the program on that the other day. So, oh, by
Sure.
the way, I don't know. Well, Josh and Big Mike and those guys know, but Tommy Luke too, and Tommy Aliotti, you don't know, but I know that 3 years of college cured me of tequila. I'm just letting you know that right now. The little Mexicans get running around in my brain. They do some silly shit in there. So the guys at the ranch, they tried during COVID. They tried to feed me a little tequila. So one night we went a little crazy with the tequila, and every one of them said the same thing. They're like, never again. I said, I told you, that's what 3 years of college proved to me, was that I cannot drink tequila.
I left tequila though. I did the same thing, but it wasn't college. It was high school. I think it was the first time I really went out and got fucked up. It was in Cancun when I was 18 years old on my senior trip. And I swore off tequila for probably the next 20 years. And then I was in endurance sports and I was doing a lot of endurance training and everything else. And somewhere along the way, read an article about how tequila was quote unquote the cleanest alcohol for you and the best alcohol for you. I'm like, fuck. All right, let's drink.
Let's try that one. Yeah, let's try that one. So,
Oh,
hey,
Thrill,
is
what are
there
you looking
anything?
forward to most with the WBC coming up?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
What are you looking forward to most with the WBC coming up?
I'm probably looking at, believe it or not, since I'm in the sport, I'm probably looking at these guys getting a pretty good edge, playing these games because you turn right around and like legitimately a week later, they're going to start up the season. So, I'm wanting to see these guys, play well, but then come out of it and be, hey, look, I got a week and the bell's going to ring. I better answer the bell. And I want to see which guys are looking like they're pretty goddamn sharp.
It's really got to be a huge benefit for the position players.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I mean, well, you look at it today. I mean, you and I we went through it real quick. I mean, we didn't stay on it, but Cal Raleigh had 5 at bats. So that means Cal Raleigh played, 7 or 8 innings, maybe. So I mean, you're talking about, a major league catcher, kind of getting on the fast track here. And I don't know who else. Let me see who else played a lot. I mean, all these guys. I mean, Harper, Witt Jr., Goldschmidt, Henderson, Bregman, Anthony. I mean, Terang, every one of those guys had 3 at bats. So they went at least 4 or 5 innings right there. Every one of those guys. So everybody's starting to suit up for the regular season when the bell rings.
Drew, I'm reading an article here about Bryce Harper, and they're talking about his goals for 2026. And this is what he said: just to stay as calm as I can. I try to do that pretty much all camp, just trying to get pitches in the zone and swing at strikes and take my walks when I can. I feel like I've done a good job of that in the first 4 games, and I'm just trying to slow things down. So last year, Harper saw pitches in the zone 43% of the time. That is the fewest out of 532 major league hitters. Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. All right. So that's telling me right there. That stat right there is telling me that the pitchers and the scouts and the scouting reports are saying that if you get in the zone and he doesn't make any contact, he has a tendency to chase. So we're gonna pitch him even tougher, bounce a few balls, throw some balls out the zone, high fastballs, all that sort of stuff, change ups down and away, all of that, and make him chase. So, his, I guess you want to say, self-evaluation sounds pretty good to me because, I mean, for me personally, I wanted it to be a strike. I want to be a strike. Make it be a strike. If not a strike, that means I'm ahead in the count, and sooner or later, I'm going to dictate this at bat.
So I saw something the other day with Ron Washington, and he actually was on, I'd say, with Murph and Mac, but I think it's just Murph now. And basically, what Wash was saying was that he had Bryce Eldridge out for early work. And for the first, I don't know, X amount of repetitions, he was not happy with what he was seeing. And basically, Wash called out Bryce Eldridge and was like, look, motherfucker, we're out here to work. We're out here to focus. We're out here to go through these reps at 100%. I need you dialed. And sure enough, the thing that Wash was really excited about was that Bryce changed his mentality right then, right there, worked his ass off the rest of the early work session, and all was fine and dandy back in Giants land. But this is why you keep guys like Ron Washington around because they got the fucking balls to call out the top prospect in the organization if he doesn't think he's giving it his full effort. So I just heard that the other day. It was music to my fucking ears, Thrill. Your thoughts on what went down?
My thoughts exactly the same as yours. I am that guy. I'm like Ron Washington. You know, I mean, hey, look, when I go to Richmond, Virginia, or when I go to San Jose, California, Eugene, Oregon, all of our minor league teams. When I fly out there, I'm here to work, man. I came 2,000 miles in an airplane to work with you. I didn't come out here to watch you jerk around. All right, and you got a time, you got to be somewhere, you got things you have to do, you got to get your routine, you got to come take early batting practice, you got to take early ground balls, whatever it is. I am here to witness that and to help out. And when I don't see it and I see the jerking around, I'm in the Ron Washington camp. I say it, I don't hold it back. It's like, hey, you might be dicking around, but guess what? I've been there, done that. And I know that the more you dick around, the more you ain't making it up yonder. If you come to practice today and you do what you're supposed to do and you create that momentum, you create that routine, you create that rhythm, dude, all it's going to do is make you a better ball player. And Ron Washington, to his credit, has been a major league coach and a major league manager for a long time. And he's 73 years old now. He's tired of watching the shit, so he's going to call you out. So you better stay on it.
And as he should, man. It's your responsibility as a coach. I've always said, and I've told the boys this, multiple times to let them play kids. I'm like, I'm not here to just sugarcoat things for you and make things easy for you and not call you out on your shit. I'm actually, I'm here to do the opposite. I'm here to tell you when you do something right, but I'm also here to tell you when you do something wrong, and then you're able to make the adjustment to go ahead and figure it out. I was having a conversation with a bunch of dads because there was an incident in the past where there was a kid that, he thought apparently he was running. I told him he wasn't fucking running. He wasn't running. Not at full speed like I would have liked to see on a fly ball, deep center field when he's coming around first. He should have been coming around third at the end of it. He was barely coming around second. And I had the dad actually just about coming to the dugout and was like, he was running. And I told the dad, I said, look, let me tell you something. He wasn't fucking running. Because if he was, why would I have to say something? And number two, you should be thanking me that it's not you in the car on the way home having to fucking bury his ass because he wasn't running.
Right.
Because that's usually what happens, right?
Yeah.
If my kid is off in some area, especially from an effort standpoint, I want that calling out by the coach immediately, so I don't have to say something later. Because if the coach says something, all right, we good. Hey, coach mentioned this. Yeah, coach mentioned that, pops. All right, cool. Okay, we're good. I don't want to get into it, but this is, I saw this, you saw that, or whatever. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to harp on it, but if you're the coach, you call it out. This is what it is, and I'm not calling it out when it's like because I'm trying to pick on you or anything else. And again, I tell the boys, I'm like, when I first started coaching, everyone says you treat your own kid different than you do the other kids, and I do think it's true. I think, and ironically, there's kind of a hyper focus on your kid, and so a lot of times the coach, this kid, is the one who's like wearing it because the coach is so hyper focused on every little fucking thing that the kid's doing. And I told all the other kids and my own kid, I said, I want to treat everybody like my kid because I want to hyper focus on all of you, on everything that you do, right? Like, that's my job as a coach. So when I come down on you as almost a father figure, because I'm pissed because you fucking did something wrong. Number one, it's typically attitude and effort. That's it. I don't get upset with physical errors. I get upset with maybe an error that happened because we weren't prepared because we took the wrong approach. Now it's like, okay, let's rectify that situation. So, real sort of, intriguing thing with that. But I love Ron Washington. Love the fact that he's calling, he'll call anybody out at any point, at any time. And that's exactly what the San Francisco Giants need.
Totally agree. And, that's, you and I have talked about it before. I mean, back in the day, first off, you got a thick skin. That's first off. All right. Second off, you look yourself in the mirror and say, I screwed up or I had a good game. And be truthful with yourself. If you scuffled, you don't sit there and say, it was a pretty good game. That's bullshit. Come to the realization that, hey, look, I did a pretty decent job today, or I need to pick up the pace a little bit tomorrow. And I'm having a lot of problems seeing that right now in, the younger generation coming through the sport. So for you to do it is awesome. All right. Because when they get to my side of the ledger, I told this to Josh. Josh and I were talking about it the other day. I said, I am tougher on the older guys. So, that's the reason I go see Richmond early in the season, because those guys have been in the organization 3-4 years. They're knocking on the doorstep, and it's like, hey, partner, you need to pick up the pace in order to get to the freaking major leagues. So I'm going to be a little tougher on you. I go see A-Ball, Eugene, whether it be San Jose, whatever. I'm a little bit more patient with those guys because they got a few more years under their belt that they're going to have. But then on top of that, I still need them to make the adjustment. And so I explain that to them. It's like, hey, dude, I'm here to help you. But, you keep doing the same goddamn thing and you're having the same results. Like, do something different, dude. The one thing that you and I talked about, all right, so here you are, you're hitting, and then you kind of drop that back shoulder and you come up at the ball. All right, that's first off. And then second off, in order to get on top of it, you have to roll. Okay. So if you do catch it pretty good, the ball always has top spin. Okay. So, you're sitting there watching these kids hit and they catch the ball pretty goddamn good, and it barely makes it to the right field or it barely makes it to the left field. And I said, you caught that ball pretty good. And he's like, yeah. I said, that's what happens when you have all the top spin. I said, we need to backspin those balls. And I said, and I'll tell them what they need to do in order to backspin the ball. And constantly I'm getting a little pushback. Well, that's not my swing. And well, then good luck hitting fucking 300-foot outs, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be hitting 300-foot outs because you're top spinning and everything. You need to clean up your ball flight.
Unless you're hitting 280 or above and you got an OPS well over 800 and you're hitting 30 homers a year, I don't want to fucking hear that, nah, man, that's just not my swing, like I'm doing this or that. Because if you're doing that and you're Aaron Judge, no one's going to say, gosh, yeah, I'm fucking word to you. But if you're doing that and you're hitting 220 every year with fucking 20 and you got a fucking, 720 OPS, you're underperforming, dude.
And you got
wake the fuck up
and
and
you
make
got
an
50,
adjustment
55
and go back
RBIs or whatever. It's like, dude, I can go get somebody else to do that. I don't need you. I can go get anybody to do that right there.
Yeah. It's interesting because when I talked to Andrew Jones, I think I told you this last week, I said, what do you teach Drew? And, Drew, one of the top prospects in all baseball.
Yeah.
I teach him how to backspin a baseball. Cut the baseball. Cut it. We're going to swing down to it. We're swing down to it, we'll flatten it out, and we're going to cut that. We're going to cut that thing, and we're going to create backspin. But no, these kids don't. They're not necessarily into that, and I think that's why the strikeout rates have risen, obviously, along with velocity and everything else. Thriller reminds me of something that just happened. Tara actually, sent this to me and wanted us to talk about it, so I will appease my wife right now. So because of the automated balls and strikes system, it is based on height. Your strike zone is. And so they went and measured every single major leaguer. And miraculously, can you believe this? These guys shrunk. So guys that used to say they were 6'2" are now 5'11". I mean, this was going on and on and on and on. I mean, the number of guys that had lied about their height was fucking astronomical. So that is one great benefit to the automated balls and strike system, is that all these fucking liars just got exposed.
Got exposed. Unbelievable. Hey, look, I told you for years and years and years, I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1". I've been 6'1" for forever, right? I didn't grow anymore, nothing like that. I'm 6'1". And I'll go see this kid or this player or whatever, and I'm actually like looking down at him, and he's listed as like 6'2", and I go, dude, there's no fucking way you're 6'2". I said I should be looking up at you if you're 6'2". I said I'm looking down at you. I can see the top of your head. Who the fuck you think you're fucking talking to here?
Yeah, that's how, I mean, it's been going on for years. So
Ah, hell, everybody wants to be taller or bigger or stronger or whatever, and they fucking make up a bunch of shit. But I see it with my daughter in the modeling industry.
really,
Everybody, oh, she's 5'10". I go, my ass, she's 5'10". She's about 5'5". And they go, no, seriously. I go, no chance she's 5'10". And it's hysterical. You have a wife, I got a wife, all that, right? They take off those high heel shoes, all of a sudden they come up to about right here on us. You're like, oh shit, you lost about 6 inches right there,
yeah, yeah. So they have this thing here, Thrill. It's basically, well, hold on. Before we get into this, I was talking about, I think, when you're coming on and off. So Detroit Tigers prospect Max Clark
Oh
has
my
been an
God.
internet sensation for a long time now. He has been doing great coming up through the minor leagues. He's in big league camp with the Tigers. He was in left field the other day, and he had an entire Mr. T starter kit of jewelry wrapped around his neck.
Oh my
And
God.
he proceeded to drop a fly ball, maybe because of the sun, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. And then later in the inning, got another ball, and he slipped and kind of threw it in the ground or whatever. But the Braves announcers were fucking roasting him, man. Your thoughts
Because
on
of his
Max
Mr. T.
Clark and all the jewelry, and
Yeah.
then going out there and not necessarily playing so bling bling.
I can tell you one thing right now. I mean, I didn't have any jewelry on me at all. Period. And matter of fact, believe it or not, we had a rule with the San Francisco Giants: no jewelry out there at all. Period. And the first one that turned that around was Barry Bonds, because he had an earring.
Earring.
And, they let him, keep the earring and all that. He was the first San Francisco Giant to wear any kind of jewelry. But, I mean, now, like you said, the Mr. T starter set and 5 gold chains and all that sort of shit and the jingling going on. And hey, it's like, dude, you're a ball player. You're not a freaking rapper. All right. Leave the shit in your locker. All right. Go out there, play the game. Then if you want to be Joe Coolio after that, well, then put your shit on. But during the game, take the shit off. That's one less distraction you got. And you leave yourself wide open to exactly what happened. The Braves announcers jumping on you with both feet.
Well, here's the deal. If you are wearing all that shit, that's exactly it, Thrill. You're leaving yourself wide open to the criticism because if the play doesn't get made, then obviously the focus goes there. What would have you done in 1993 had a Giants rookie showed up with the amount of chains that Max Clark had on the other day and then dropped the fly ball in the outfield and then spiked the fucking throw going to second? What would have you said to that rookie in the Giants organization in spring training in 1993?
Put it this way, he'd have been sitting on the bench and I'd have been standing right in front of him, and there'd have been a few curse words flying around, shall we say. But
oh,
hey,
man.
I mean, I get it. And Austin even brought it up. This is a sore subject with me. You get, as a major leaguer, you get all kinds of shit. You get uniforms, gloves, shoes, helmets, pads. You get all of that crap, right? How many times do you see guys have helmets and they're like sitting on top of their head and they're flopping around and just like that? They go running around the bases. They got to pick up their helmet, all that sort of shit. It's like, dude, get the shit that fits you. All right? It's not going to flop off your head. You can complete the play without having the distraction where you're running. You got to hold your helmet on your head or whatever it might be. It's like now everybody is so much more about the me, I, look at me kind of shit. It's like whatever happened to the me and yous of, hey, we're just dirt bags, man. We want to get dirty. We want to have the shit down and freaking locked in. We want to have the freaking pine tar in the helmet and the pine tar in the glove. And we're ballers, man. We're not out here to be seen. We're ballers. And I'm missing that sometimes in this game.
Yeah, but isn't that all we ever wanted? That was everything.
Yeah.
Like I hated my uniform clean. Hated it. Like I knew I didn't have a good game if I went back to the locker room. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not dirty.
Yeah, no, I'm not dirty. Or in our case, playing at Candlestick, I'd have to look at my pants, and it was like, well, I didn't have a rip in my pants. Well, that means I didn't slide today. So that kind of shit. So, but anyway, I mean, for me personally, I was not about the look. I could care fucking less. Matter of fact, you want to know the honest guy's truth? The best fucking uniforms that I thought that I looked good in were all of those turn back the clock old timers uniforms. I love those fucking things. Them things were awesome. But my big thing was I'm about functioning. I'm not about being looked at.
Yes.
I'm not being looked at. I am about this shit fits me to do what I need to do my fucking job. There you go.
Remember, like
there
this
you go.
whole thing
Hey,
was pulling up the sleeve.
That's the one thing I had. That's the one you and I talked about it. That's the one thing I had in my uniform. I took my right sleeve and I had to make it a little bit bigger because I didn't want the sleeve to catch my arm to where I couldn't follow through. Okay? So that was why all you guys saw me fucking yank the shit up, is because when I came through, I wanted to be able to follow through and not be restricted.
Yeah. And somebody today would look at that and be like, oh, like, I'm going to do this because Will did this just because it's cool. I actually did do that because you did it when I was a kid. I'm like, let's give it a little tug. But, of course, there was a functionality reason behind it. So,
and Matt Williams did the same thing. Matt kind of pulled his sleeve up a little bit, and he'd like keep his head down on his sleeve like that. Same thing.
Yeah. I love that, man, because I was the same way. Like, whatever would make me potentially have an advantage over the pitcher. That's all I cared about. I was towards the end of my career, I was wearing this big old thing on these mouth guards. And I put these fucking mouth guards in just cause. If it could help me slightly, just that much, I was all about it. Now, and this is where I'm really, really proud of Colton. So my kid is super into these nasal strips, man. And he puts these nasal strips on his nose. And, they're kind of goofy looking, right?
Yeah.
But it opens up his nostrils and it helps him take in more oxygen. It helps him breathe and helps him relax and helps him be more productive in his actions. And he wears them skiing. And a weekend, he wore them playing baseball. And he didn't give a fuck. It wasn't about the look. It was about the functionality of the nose strip. So it was a proud papa moment when he hit a triple and he pulled in a third. And I'm like, hey, great job, man. Then I just realized what he was doing. I'm like, yo, it's a hell of a nose strip. You look great.
Hey, you know what? It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because the Rev and Christian just put on there about Jung Hoo Lee and his helmet and how many times his helmet comes off. Dude, he'll take a swing and his fucking helmet comes off. I'm like, that never happened to me. Ever, never, right? And so I legitimately went up to his translator last year and I said, hey, I gotta say something to Jung Hoo. I want to make sure he understands. He's like, all right, no problem. And I went up to him and I go, hey, dude, when you take a swing, you're not supposed to have your helmet come off. Your helmet is not supposed to come off. Even when you're running, your helmet is not supposed to come off. I said, get a freaking better helmet. Either that or I'm going to go get you one of those football fucking chin straps and we'll chin strap that motherfucker to you. And the freaking translator was laughing his ass off. He barely got the translation to Jung Hoo. Jung Hoo started laughing, but we made light of it. But that message has been passed along. Whether he does it or not, fuck, I don't know. But anyway.
I would wear my helmet so tight because I didn't want it coming off that I go like this. I do with my hats too. Look, it's like kind of a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
red spot.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I like it. I like it tight, right? Like I want it to
Yeah.
fit. I want to be able to move, function. When I'm playing pickleball, it's like I don't want my hat fucking flying off. Like functionality of the hat is important.
Hey,
Functionality of the
look,
helmet's important.
here's another thing. I mean, I hate to say it, but the way I got this way was shit. I grew up in the bayou and went hunting and fishing with my dad the whole time. We're in a boat, riding in a boat, and I didn't want my hat fucking blowing off all the time. So I got a fucking nice tight hat, and I could keep it on. And till this day, I still can keep a hat on in a boat while we're running around. And so Candlestick was like a piece of cake to me. I'm like, everybody else is chasing fucking hats to the center field wall, and I got mine stuck to my head. It ain't going nowhere.
They got some spring numbers here that apparently this I don't know. I mean, the numbers behind this spring's most impressive performers, and it's got I don't even know how to say his name. It's not Lagrange. Carlos Lagrange. I mean, it's got to be Lagrange, right? The Yankees. That guy's dirty.
ZZ
right?
Top Lagrange, baby. Woo!
Lagrange. I mean, what would they call Lagrange in the Bayou?
Oh my God.
I don't know. Whatever.
How
He's
would they say it?
pitcher for
Oh
the
shit.
Yankees. He's fucking nasty, man.
Oh.
He's averaging 100 miles per hour on his fastball velocity. And he's had strikeouts at 102. Like, these guys aren't even in midseason form yet, right? And throwing 102 just like that out the chute. That is pretty special. And then Jack Caglione, I'm looking forward to seeing this guy. 120.2 mile per hour double.
Dude, I'm telling you one thing right now. Caglione, I saw him play at Florida when he was in the SEC, and I was like, oh my God, I hope that the Giants can get him. And we picked like, I don't know, 13, 15, something like that. And he was, I think, the third or fourth pick that year. But I saw him play in the fall league when I was there, seeing Bryce Eldridge. And I was like, oh shit. I said, this is a major freaking leaguer. I can tell you one thing right now. Everybody in the chat room, y'all can go to Vegas and put a little money on Jack Caglione being an all-star pretty soon.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. He just needs a consistent at bats. I'll tell you another guy who's going to be an all-star real soon. Connor Griffin, the number one prospect in all of Major League Baseball. He's a shortstop in the Pirates system. 111 mile per hour, 440-foot homer. 7 of 12 batted balls hit this spring have gone for over 100 miles per hour. He's 19 years old, Thrill. Have you seen Connor Griffin, and what do you think of his work so far?
No, I have not seen him. I have heard the name. Looking forward to it.
Oh,
And
he's
while
so
we're
fucking
talking
good, man.
about this, I did talk to Zach Manassian, and you and I kind of went over this the other day. The Giants have the number 4 pick in the draft this year, and I know that they were out there watching one of the UCLA guys that you and I talked about, and you said he's a freaking stud. And oh, by the way, UCLA and Mississippi State played the other day down there in Texas, and they had a back and forth. I mean, way go. Mississippi State was winning 5-3 with 2 outs in the ninth, and they hit a guy in the foot, and then the next guy went bombo yardo to tie the game, right? So now they go in the extra innings. Then UCLA goes bombo wago, and UCLA's up by 3. Mississippi State comes back in the bottom of the 10th, scores 2, makes it 8-7, which is what the final was. So UCLA was ranked number 1. They were 9-2. Mississippi State was 11-0, and they were ranked number 4. And that's the kind of game you need to see from 2 top-notch quality programs. So congratulations to both of those programs for putting on a hell of a show.
So Rock Chalowski is the guy from UCLA. He's a
There you go.
shortstop.
That's him.
I've had the opportunity to meet Rock, spend some time with him at an event in San Diego at the Perfect Game All-American thing. He was there, and what a great kid. Can't say enough cool things about him in a 30-minute conversation that I had with him, but he was the one that actually came up to me, and he goes, Mr. Byrnes, he said, Rock Chalowski, I know Coach Savage, really wanted me to come up and introduce myself. I'm like, Rock, I said, I can't tell you, man, I've been following you for a few years now, and just keep playing the game the way you do.
Yeah.
Kid plays hard. He's fucking good.
Yeah.
Could go down as one of the greatest players to ever come out of that UCLA program. Will go down as that, just based on what he's doing statistically at UCLA.
Yeah.
But from a major league side of things, if this kid fulfills his potential, it's Hall of Fame ability.
Yeah, no, he's got, and that was one thing that, Manassian was telling me. He said he's got the tools, and then, needless to say, you can't throw your eggs in all in one basket because you never know. He might get drafted ahead of us. We don't see him. So, they've been looking at a few other guys. But, the one thing for me personally is we need to have a very good draft. We went through a bunch of those years with the Gabe Kapler regime where we didn't draft shit. And, we're having to fight to get our minor leagues back to where they were back in the Buster Posey, Tim Lincecum days, and we're headed that way, but we still need a good draft. We don't need to draft anybody that's hurt. Let me repeat that. We do not need to draft anybody that is hurt because we have done that in the past.
So the top 10 draft prospects right now for 2026, we'll go 10 and we'll work up to 1. Sawyer Strohsnyder, an outfielder. Sawyer is from TCU. Number 9 is Cameron Flukie. Flukie is a pitcher from Coastal Carolina.
They got a pretty good little program over there.
Yeah,
Coastal
dude, I went to
Carolina.
the Coastal Texas game the other day, and it's impressive what Coastal's been able to do to be able to
Yeah.
hang with the big boys in the
Yeah.
era
No, I
of
mean,
NIL
yeah, I
and
mean,
everything
you look
else.
at the Carolinas and all that. You think of NC State, Duke, UVA, Virginia. Florida State. You look at all of that. People over there, Georgia. You look at over there, and Coastal has done a great job, man. They've done a hell of a job.
It's incredible. I mean, it's a little bit of the Kurt Signetti thing in Indiana, where their coaching staff over there has changed the game. All right, number 8 is Gio Rojas. He's a left-handed pitcher from Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. Number 7 is Carson Bowman. Carson Bowman is a left-handed pitcher as well from the Southside Christian High School. Then you got Derek Curiel. He's the number 6 prospect. Curiel is an LSU Tiger Thrill. Bats left, throws left. Got to be an outfielder for LSU. Do you know
Yeah,
anything about him?
I think he's a new transfer in. I haven't seen him play yet, but I will see him play.
Let's see. Curiel projected as a potential first rounder early in his career at a powerhouse Orange Lutheran, but he didn't perform as hoped in his final showcase summer or senior season. He withdrew from the 2024 draft and headed to Louisiana State, where he was the leading hitter on a College World Series championship team as a freshman. Batted 390 in the NC2A tournament. Draft eligible as a sophomore. Yeah, so he's just a sophomore in 2026.
But
Interesting
he's
with
draft eligible, so he ought to be old enough, right?
yeah, yeah. He's
So
old enough.
either he redshirted or something like that.
Yeah, they're saying he resembles Christian Yelich, so he's number 6. Then you got Drew Burris. Drew Burris from the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. He's an outfielder, 5'9", 185. Wow. I mean, you don't see that very often, right? A 5'9" college kid
No, exactly.
projecting that high. It says Scout liked Burris's tools and loved his makeup when he was a Georgia high schooler, but he told teams he wanted to attend Georgia Tech unless they took him in the first round. He went unpicked and broke into college baseball with 9 homers in his first 8 games. Okay, holy shit, he's put up fucking wild numbers. 357 batting average, 490 slug, 756 OPS, or 490 on base percentage, 756 slug, 44 dingers in his first 2 seasons. That is incredible. Wow, Drew Burris, look out for him. And then Jacob Lombard,
Where's Burris
George
from? Where's
Lombard's
Burris
kid,
from? Hey, where's Burris from?
the Ramblin' Wreck in Georgia Tech.
Okay, all right.
Then you got Jacob Lombard. He's from Govier Prep in Miami, but he's the son of Jacob Lombard. I believe Jacob's brother is also in the Yankees system. He was a first rounder a couple years ago. I had him at the perfect game All-American game. He's legit. He certainly is worthy of the high ranking. He's at number 4. Justin LeBron is at number 3. He is a right shortstop, it looks like, from Alabama. Okay, Justin LeBron. And then Grady Emerson, who I also had at the perfect game All-American game. He's at Fort Worth Christian in Texas. Smooth at short. Made every play that went his way, and I felt like he got a lot of balls that game, and just the way he did it was top notch. And then Rock Chalowski, Thrill, he is your numero uno. Consensus number one overall prospect. The only way he doesn't go 1-1 is if they do a pre-deal, as they've been known, teams have been known to do. If there's a guy
Right.
second or third round or
Right.
whatever, they want to try to save some money. That is possible. But Rock Chalowski, the son of a former minor leaguer, Dan Chalowski, who is also a longtime scout. He was a top 50 player as a two-sport athlete from Hamilton High School program in Arizona that produced Cody Bellinger. Committed to UCLA, priced him out, and end up the highest ranked non-selected player in the 2023 draft. After a solid freshman year with the Bruins, he's vaulted himself to the top of the 2026 class with a 1,100, almost 1,200 OPS and 23 homers as a sophomore. He's fucking good, man. He's
Yeah,
just
no, I
good.
get it. I get it.
Well, you never know, because Matt Holliday's kid, Ethan Holiday, was supposed to go 1-1 last year, and he
Yeah.
slipped to 4.
Yeah, no. And then I'm looking at that Curiel from LSU. I just pulled him up. He's at 294, no homers, and 11 RBIs.
It's early.
Yeah, no, it's definitely early. We ain't even got the SEC play, but you know, yeah, one of them things.
All right, Thrill. Anything else you got before we call this thing a night and I head up to
Not just the
Houston?
fact that I wish I could do the show next week, but I will be in Arizona, and so that means the following week I will give y'all the lowdown on the San Francisco Giants.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah,
We will have a show next week, though. So for everybody listening, because of our friends at Car Shield, the show must go on and will go on. So we could have a special guest host. I might be flying solo. I think I'll start now to try to get another guest host. But yeah, that's cool, man. Where your routine and everything where you're there, you're usually pretty locked in. Is this you go to the owners thing and
yeah,
right?
yeah. So the first 2 days I'm there are one game's at home, one game's on the road. So on that game that's on the road, I might go over to the minor league side and go see all of those dudes. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the ownership groups in town. So not only will we be at Scottsdale Stadium, but I'll be either doing dinner or receptions or whatever with the ownership group. So I'll be putting on my other community ambassador hat, whatever you want to call it.
Well, if you see Rob and Trina, give them a big hug for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I'm hoping to see Rob and Trina. I hadn't seen him in a while. Ever since they moved over there to Hawaii, I hadn't seen him. I've seen a lot of the other ones, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I really miss them. I mean, dude, you
Yeah,
moved to Hawaii. That's a long way away.
yeah. No, and the thing is, they don't come back a ton. They kind of stay over there. So one of them things.
Yeah, you get trapped on the island. It's like people in Orange County. They say you get stuck behind the orange curtain. It's tough to leave that place.
There you go.
All
There you
right,
go.
Thrill. Well, safe travels. Have a fantastic little spring training experience there, and I look forward to hearing all the feedback for what's exactly going on in camp.
Yeah. I get a
Tell
chance.
Ron Washington when you see him, though.
No,
Just remind him.
I'll tell a wash for you, no problems.
Yeah, tell him this. Just say, hey, say Byrnesy said something along the lines of, "You got no yank and you got no pull." That's it. No yank,
got
no fucking pull. So,
no yank, got no pull.
he's like, I got no yank, I ain't got no pull, man. I can't help you get in that lineup, man. Come on,
I got
Byrnesy.
you.
You know that. I got no yank, I got no pull. So I
I
just go,
got
no
it.
yank, no pull. I mean, one day I might call him No Yank. The next time I might call him No Pull. But fucking what a great man.
Hey, look, he's a beauty, and I'm and then this will be the first time I'm meeting in person, Tony Vitello. Get a chance to, talk a little shop with him, and yeah, meet the rest of the coaching staff. So it should be a lot of fun. Get a chance to mess around with Bryce Eldridge and Rafael Devers, people like that. So I'm really looking forward to this spring training. I hadn't been there in, believe it or not, 2 years now. Because
Seriously?
yeah, I had 2 years ago. I had hip surgery.
I
Last
remember
year I had
that.
knee
But what
surgery.
happened last
So
year?
yeah, last year was knee surgery. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to being back in spring training.
Oh, well, fuck. And you're going there with all your body parts, too.
Hey,
Or
I
artificial
am
ones.
I am the Steve Major, $6 million man, titanium baby. Gotta love titanium.
Dude, that is great. All right, Thrill. Send love to the fam, and we'll be back on. Like I said, I'll be back on next week with Daily Hustles, obviously with Deuces Wild and everything else. And then let's not uh, fail to mention our beloved title sponsor, Car Shield. Come on, baby. Really appreciate Car Shield and everything that they do. So check out Car Shield, not for their extended warranty program. That's not what we're selling here. We're selling extended services. Extended services, you have a chance to protect your car, and it's not going to cost you a fuck ton of money, man. It's just pretty simple. It's protection. We
There
all need
you go.
protection. Yeah,
Protection.
yeah.
It's
I
like,
know some of you guys like to raw dog it, but not
hey,
recommended.
hey, I'm all about protection. That's why I wear a cup.
I actually never wore a cup, Thrill.
I know you didn't because you freaking diving in the outfield. You land on that son bitch, it hurts.
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Cups actually do.
See
If you
that's the thing.
dive like that,
See,
you
that's the
land
thing
on
about
us. Oh!
yeah, and that's the thing about infielders. Infielders, we're a little lower to the ground. You guys in the outfield, man, y'all on a freaking dead run and you're head high, and then off you go when you dive, and that shit hurts. When you're a little lower to the ground, you can slide along a little easier.
All right, Thrill. Well, one last anyone in the chat you want to give some love to tonight? Did we have any new
Hey, you
members
know
in the
what?
chat?
We had the chat going on pretty damn good there for a while. The boys and the girls were doing a good job. I was paying attention. They slacked off here at the end, but in the meantime, it was awesome.
All right. Well, for
Oh, and
each and every
by the way, all right, Josh just brought it back up right here. This spring training right here is my 40th in baseball.
wow.
I was a rookie. I was a rookie in 1986. Today is 2026. I'll be having my birthday and everything in spring training, celebrating 40 years in this sport
That's
professionally.
that's fucking awesome, dude.
Professionally.
That's pretty
Thanks,
cool.
Josh. I appreciate it.
Ever since I was 10.
Ever since you were 10, damn,
Yeah.
you little
Yeah.
freaking robbed the cradle motherfucker.
I'm about to say, where are we? We getting old?
Yeah, bud. Yeah,
That's
bud.
just a fucking number, man. It really is.
Hey, hey,
We live young,
it's how
Thrill.
you feel. It's how you feel in here, man. Some days the body don't want to work, but guess what? That shit right there will overcome it.
Put a little whiskey down the pipes, throw on a shirt that says breaking news. I don't fucking care. And then come on here and talk a little shit. That'll keep you young.
That's right. And I talk it with my partner, the other Deuce, baby.
All right, Thrill. Talk to you in a couple weeks. Everyone else, I appreciate y'all. If you could go on Apple or Spotify, if you're listening at those locations or anywhere else, if you could leave us a review, write a little something. It really helps with the ratings. Uh, we would greatly appreciate that. And one last thing for each and every one of you guys out there.